Head over to mypillow.com/Tim and buy pillows. But also, you notice this energy drink here, Rev 7. So we actually have a whole bunch of this stuff. I actually ordered a bunch more. It is amazing. Look at that. Mike Lindell with his delicious keto lemonade energy drink. I drink about one of these per day. It's caffeine free. It's got no sugar. It's got what's called Go BHB ketones. I am a huge fan of this stuff. I'm going to tell you right away, they all taste like candy. I don't know how they do it, but they are delicious and there's no sugar in it. My favorite one's the blueberry citrus. Lemonade is really good. And the green apple is also really good. And if you're a green apple candy fan, it is like a Jolly Rancher. Maybe I shouldn't say that because it's proprietary, whatever. So my friends, right now, My Pillow's having two sales in one. First is on their Percali bed sheets, any size and any color, just $29.88. That's right. You can even get queens, kings, split kings, cow kings, any size, any color. The second is a new energy drink called Rev 7, a premium energy drink that's actually good for you. It tastes great, gives you energy all day, plus it has no sugar, no caffeine, so you don't experience those jitters and crashes we've all been through. What makes it special is that it's powered by Cognizin, a premium nootropic that helps fuel your mind, and Go BHB, which is a primary ketone in your body that provides the most efficient and cleanest fuel ever. My Pillow is so confident that you're going to love Rev 7 for a limited time. You can try their introductory 3-pack for free when you set up a bi-weekly subscription. So go to mypillow.com, use promo code Tim, or go ahead and call 800-925-9096. Again, go to mypillow.com/Tim, use promo code Tim. I really do recommend these energy drinks. We have a bunch of them. They're my favorite. I don't want sugar. I don't want any of that. I don't want extra caffeine. This stuff, it really does work. From the Postman, outraged liberals protest the cancellation of Colbert in NYC. Now, I understand there's a lot of crazy news going on today, but this is very, very weird. They're treating Colbert like a politician. I think this shows how liberals are genuinely insane. They legitimately showed up in front of the CBS Late Show Stephen Colbert HQ with a big sign saying Colbert stays and Trump must go. Refuse fascism, which, for those that are not familiar, refuse fascism is associated with a group called RevCom, the Revolutionary Communist Party. I'm not exaggerating. It's not a joke. This is weird.
I wonder if all the people that are protesting taking him off actually tuned in every night or purchased the things that he advertised on his show. You think so?
Absolutely. All 13 of them.
Well, I mean, is it really a small protest?
The protest looks like it might be 100 people.
Yeah.
But the reason why...
That's like call a crowd. Those aren't like... I can't imagine him having that much grassroots.
This is a real protest. Refuse fascism is an actual group. They're showing up in New York acting like Colbert is their leader.
He was their moral compass for years. This is a guy who cried on air after a Trump speech in 2020. He's like Mr. Rogers to them, you know? It's funny, he played a right-wing character for 10 years on the Colbert Report, which was very successful, and then played himself for 10 years and failed miserably.
So the core of the story, Colbert Late Show is reportedly losing CBS $40 million a year as critics speculate politics drove cancellation. I would actually argue the inverse. The only reason the show survived was because of politics, but I should say, I'm sorry, let me clarify that. The only reason the show existed was for politics, but the only reason it is dying is because of politics as well. I would make the argument, as somebody who runs multiple shows, we got a company, we got 5 different shows. To be fair, 3 are hosted by me, 2 are not. This makes literally no sense as to why you would put $40 million into a guy who every single night just says Donald Trump is bad. And, why?
When Jimmy Kimmel's doing it every night. He's got competition.
I think the fat cats and the bigwigs of these companies, they've got so much money. They don't look at this like a failed business, like any sane person would. They look at it like, I've got $40 million to spend and I hate Trump.
Subsidized propaganda.
Indeed.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's been propaganda for the entire time that, the rest of the media has been propaganda. Colbert was no different than any of the other late show guys. They all had the same message.
I disagree.
Who else was
Letterman
I'm sorry.
had jokes for everybody.
Current time.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not talking about once Donald Trump entered the public arena as a political entity.
Right.
All of the late shows did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
There was no variation in any. There wasn't anyone that was even remotely like maybe they would mess with Democrats as well as Republicans. It was straight up, we hate Trump.
Yeah.
It was, message from it seemed like it was messaging straight from the Democrat Party.
Look what happened to Jimmy Fallon when he rubbed Trump's hair.
Yeah.
They almost canceled him over that, like humanizing Trump,
Yeah.
They all had to march in lockstep and be equally unfunny.
Yeah. So, I mean, I imagine the same, result is going to come for the other late night hosts.
And it wasn't just the late night hosts too. Saturday Night Live was that too. I mean, people can remember when Saturday Night Live used to be sometimes on both sides of the fence. I mean, they were never conservative, but they just went rabidly anti-Trump.
I think Colbert didn't start the trend of these late night shows doing this. I think Colbert was brought on as all of these companies agreed they would start doing this. And I think it largely has to do with Donald Trump. I think if I was going to make a bet, if I'm looking at some kind of table game at a casino, and I had to put money down as to what they were doing, it is that executives went to Colbert or went to the producers and said, "We want a show that attacks Trump. We want the show. This is the late night. This is the late show. This is the show. Okay, this is what America's watching. It has to be anti-Trump. We can't lose." And so they were willing to spend $40 million a year. Now the argument is CBS Paramount is shutting it down because of financial reasons, making the argument. Not them directly. This is like, I guess sources are leaking this 40 million number, that it wasn't financially logical. It didn't make sense financially. If they never went fervent hyper-partisan, their revenue, their profit, I'm just spitballing 20 million. Because if it cost them 100 million to do the show and they could double their market share, then if they're pulling in 60 million in revenue, you add in double market share advertising rates, and let's just, again, spitballing. They could double the amount of money they're making. So it's $100 million per year to make the show, $120 million in revenue, 20 million profit. Instead, they said, cut the audience in half and only go after and only target people who hate Donald Trump.
Yep. They don't care about the comedy. They don't care about the institution that Letterman started. Letterman did become a political hack, but when he was a host of the show, he was hitting up everybody, as you should when you're doing good comedy. But Colbert was just a figurehead for propaganda, like you're saying. And it's sad because I did like Letterman back in the day. I loved early Conan.
And Letterman had that organic support.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I could see a crowd coming out to support Letterman
100%.
Just, by virtue of the affection that people had for him. I cannot see a crowd coming out for Colbert.
Colbert's
no way.
Nothing. No. And
200 employees.
for what?
I don't know.
All those anthropomorphized vaccines they had to have him dance with.
They hired 200 people to wear costumes and then kept them on the whole year.
Dancing syringe number 1, dancing syringe number 2.
10 minutes later, dancing syringe number 197, dancing syringe number 198, and then Stephen Colbert and the camera guy.
I do wonder how many writers the show had.
Probably, I would say 20-ish.
Yeah, I mean,
a writer's room of 20. Maybe.
What was his show even? He did an opening monologue.
Yep, monologue, 3 guests probably.
How many jokes are in a monologue? 3 jokes?
Nah, I mean I don't know. I didn't watch.
Not even jokes. It's clapter.
But yeah, exactly. Lately, it used to be like a 5 to 10 minute monologue of multiple jokes about the day's news.
This is wild. 200 people to run that show.
And he
was reportedly getting He was getting paid $15 to $20 million to do this.
It's a joke. That's the best joke of the whole thing.
But Shane, if they offered you, if CBS said, Shane, we want you to host the Late Show, but you have to hate Trump every night, we'll give you $20 million, would you do it?
Absolutely not. No. That's why I joked about Tim Dillon taking over Late Show yesterday. I didn't really mean it because Tim Dillon has a great show right now, and he'd get to CBS and they would tell him he couldn't do anything. But I used to like late night shows growing up because they were not risk averse like they are now. Like they gave Conan, a guy who wrote for Simpsons, no one knew who he was. He wrote for SNL and Simpsons. They gave him the late night show, the Late Late Show or whatever. And no one, it was a big risk. And eventually it kicked off and it was great. But now they don't care about it. They screwed
him over.
Well, they kept screwing him over. That was a whole other ordeal.
I just watched that video where Norm Macdonald wrote him his with a congratulations letter.
Yeah, I know you'll have this forever.
They can never take this away from you.
And Norm's another example of these networks not of being risk averse because Norm got fired from SNL because of all the O.J. Simpson jokes.
Is that what it was?
And then the guy who ran NBC was best friends with O.J. They said, stop it with the O.J. Simpson jokes. Norm was like, I can't do that. And he got fired.
Too funny.
They were the best. That was the best run of Weekend Update in history.
Yeah.
Yep. And then our culture became brittle and it's falling apart.
Yep.
And again, I stress this because Obviously when we're starting the show, we're talking about what the big story is. And it's like, well, we could just lead with the Obama Tulsi stuff again, but there's no real developments. The information's been released. There's been some opining on this. There's some minor developments. We will talk about that. But I was like, let's talk about the end of the propaganda machine. Because I think this is it. With them saying we're shutting Colbert down, they've basically said, we were willing to spend $40 million a year for 10 years. $500 million, basically, to fight Donald Trump, and we surrender.
I do agree. Like I said earlier, like I do think that this is, probably the start of all these shows losing, or going off the air. I do think some of it is because of the fact that people don't tune into cable news or cable television the way they used to. That, to at least to be fair, that's a real trend. There are fewer people that are watching the regular cable news. Fewer people have cable in their homes. So there is that aspect to it. But also, just like Tim said earlier, the fact that they have essentially excluded half of America or a third of America by just not just attacking Donald Trump, but attacking people that voted for Donald Trump and people that are Trump supporters. You can't do that in an age when your medium is dying as well.
Right. And it should also be noted, they're not just getting rid of Colbert. They're getting rid of the entire late show institution that Letterman started. That Letterman promised to Craig Ferguson, who was a great host of a show. I mean, that show was so absurd. He had a robot co-host, a talking horse. He was a great host, a great storyteller, and a great comedian. And they chose Colbert, who I never found that funny. The Colbert Report had its moments.
Check this out.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So on YouTube, they... What is this? Lonely Over You, 10,000 views in 11 hours.
Wow.
Look at this. I don't care about these guests, man. They have no idea what they're doing. Adam Schiff, 179,000 views.
And that's because it's
crazy.
Politically left-leaning and actually targeting Donald Trump,
Yep.
They curated this audience that was essentially just anti-Trump. Even if you weren't interested in politics particularly, this kind of content or this kind of production just wasn't interesting to you because people that aren't into politics at some point they're gonna be like, I'm sick and tired of hearing them say they don't like Donald Trump. I don't care that you don't like Donald Trump. Put someone from movies or put someone that is interesting on.
Well, how much do you think that actually like the internet plays into the demise of the show? Because maybe they're like tailoring their content and try and create that viral snippet. And they're no longer about the storytelling. They're no longer about the people.
Yeah.
They're no longer about having a real discussion of something. It's like, what can we do that's going to make this 2-minute long thing that can go on TikTok, that can go on Instagram, that can be viral across all platforms? You start tailoring to that, and you're just going to end up with a bunch of formulaic slop.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Yeah. This format's dead, which is unfortunate because it can be great. It can be a great format, the late night show. But yeah, like Phil was saying, there's no one good at it anymore. Kimmel's great. Well, Serge is great. Yeah.
I think the big picture issue is they were spending $100 million to do a show with 200 people that we do basically for dirt. Well, I mean, that's unfair, but like a fraction of the cost. It does cost millions to run this. We have a big studio of electricity, internet. All of this is ridiculously expensive. Salaries, of course, drivers, but $100 million. The funniest thing about today was when I tweeted that Colbert's show only costs $100 million. And he's got a $40 million loss, but Timcast costs a cool $175 million, and we break even. And the responses from everybody was that I was being serious, and we actually spend that money. It was insane, and I'm like, this is why we're screwed. Actually, a news article got written about it. Let me pull this up, just so you guys can see that I've lost all I've lost all faith in humanity.
Nice.
Tim Pool highlights revenue gap between IRL and Colbert. They say. In contrast, Pool highlights that Timcast IRL with a revenue of $175 million per year is breaking even. This revelation sheds light on Pool's perspective about the monetary viability of political commentary platforms and the economic dynamics involved. Is this AI?
Yes, for sure.
It's apparently some British website.
People are just intensely stupid, man.
But to be fair, like people responding to this tweet, taking it seriously, and I'm thinking to myself, should I give up? I mean, like I'm not saying don't do the show. I'm saying I give up on people. I wrote Colbert only, all caps, cost $100 million per year, and they couldn't make it, proving how little his brand of generic anti-Trump commentary is worth. Timcast IRL is a cool $175 million per year, and we break even.
It's the cool.
And the responses are like, wow, how does it cost so much money, Tim? That's a lot of money.
Could anybody even think that that's, I mean, how could That is ridiculous.
Because people on the internet are literal minded so much now
Shane's
that
a
they can't
ghost.
take a joke. Right.
Yeah, Shane's been dead since 1933.
I've been telling people this. And most people buy it. I spook everybody. But
I'm just from now on. It just if I tweeted again. I said I think I need to start a bridge selling business because of how many tweets I put out that are like this, and people just take it seriously. I was insulting Colbert. I was mocking Colbert. You know what? Bots don't get sarcasm, I guess.
they don't. They don't.
I mean, look, if you interact with people on X enough, you'll lose faith in humanity.
I figured it out.
Very quickly.
The Turing test in the future, when we're infiltrated by AI, will not be some like stupid, there's a turtle in the desert and he's on his back. You approach it. What do you do? It's going to be very simply that you will speak completely in sarcasm.
Yeah.
Shane,
Yeah.
it's terrible to see you.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, of all the people I wanted to see, it's you. And the robots are like, why are you mad at me? And you're a robot.
Do you think they're going to get sarcasm eventually? Remember how they used to tell us the hands, watch the hands, and now the hands are okay? You
Yeah.
can't spot the hands.
The robots won't understand the sarcasm. They'll figure it out.
We'll have AI comedians eventually.
It's just going to be white people.
Yeah.
The hard R.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.